We recently bought this fixer property on a lake in Minnesota, and for our first big DIY project, we're tackling the guest bathroom.
Oh my God.
This was one of the worst rooms in the house when we bought it. The shower leaked, the countertops were cracked, there were weird stains everywhere. Just not the kind of place that you would want to show off to your guests. It needs a total renovation.
Is that squirrel poop?
That's a dead animal.
Our goal is to do everything by ourselves and do it on a budget.
What an adventure it's been.
All right, so here we are on day one, also known as demo day. We removed all of the hardware, we removed the door, and we also removed the old cabinets that we're pretty sure were actually just kitchen cabinets. Then it took us a little while, but we eventually discovered how to shut off the water before removing any of the shower hardware.
It's supposed to be this red handle and this blue handle.
Okay.
Supposed to be.
We weren't 100% sure how the shower was attached into the wall, so we cut a small piece of drywall at the top and found the lip that goes around the top of the entire shower. At this point, we were hoping to keep as much of the existing drywall as possible, so we just wanted to cut along the shower to get to those screws that were holding it in place.
I got it.
Careful with that thing.
What thing?
The top little do that.
I know, got it.
Wow!
Unfortunately, the rest of the tub and shower did not come out quite as easily. This is all one piece, so we ended up having to cut it into sections to get it out.
Great work. What do you think? What do you actually think?
I don't know. You see? This is like some foam insulation,
Yeah.
and it's going straight up against the brick wall.
Yeah. This is real nasty. It always blows my mind to see like the bones of a house and think that like it stands for years and years and years, and it's just like pieces of wood.
All right.
Now moving on to the vanity, first we made sure that the water lines were off under there.
Cole just looked under here and said it's pretty gross. Oh dear. Holy Toledo. That's all mold. I don't love this for us.
The good news is, at least it came out very easily.
That all needs to be dried out. What is that?
That's a dead animal.
What is it?
I don't know. A bird? No, mouse or something?
So last night the conversation was, do we rip out all the drywall or do we leave some of the drywall and just replace the stuff that we need to? After seeing this, I don't think it's really a conversation anymore.
We went ahead and cut this section out before moving on to the rest of the drywall just to get it out of there.
You ready? I'm scared.
Just do it.
I don't know where the studs are though.
It's okay.
You're sure?
Yep. This is just for the video. Just give it a whack.
Is that good?
It was a great job.
And then this?
Yeah. Probably should put your
My mat. I need my protective gear. Okay. mice. I screamed.
Yes, you did.
Ripping out the drywall was a pretty straightforward process until it was time to do the ceiling.
I just know this is probably not going to be good.
What do you think is gonna happen?
There's just going to be a lot of hanging out in this ceiling, I feel like. And it's going to fall all over everything.
Okay, should we...
Well, just let me...
What's all...
Let me
That's
pull
all
the-
poop. That's all poop that just fell on the floor.
Yeah.
I don't
And there's
love
going to be a
this.
lot of it up there.
Okay, I have an idea. We are going to get the shop vac, and we're just gonna do little by little, and we're gonna...
Well, I wanted to pull out like this chunk right here.
This is not mouse poop. Is that squirrel poop?
Maybe.
What's going on?
I'm glad we're doing this, but...
Let's get the shop vac. We're like surrounded by
Poop.
poop.
Just to clarify, this bathroom is in the basement. This house also sat vacant for a year before we moved in, so it's really not a huge surprise that things were getting in and living in the ceiling.
So we're gonna put the phone up with the flash on, take a video, see what we're up against. You ready? Do you need help, old man?
It says the flash is on. There we go.
Lots of poop. Any like set of eyes or anything?
I can't see.
I hear a fox screaming outside.
Large dead something right there.
I want to see.
Right here.
Oh, it
That's
looks
just-
like a bird, like a dead bird. Or is that just insulation?
Are those like drawings or something?
Drawings? It looks like old wallpaper.
It's all right here.
Okay, well, I guess what do we do? I think we just do little bit by little bit.
I'm just gonna stand over here so it'll fall in front of me.
Okay. Oh my god. Ah! I'm scared.
I'm gonna get pink eye.
This is excellent lighting in here. We're back in the bathroom. It is a weeknight. We took a day off, one day, to get some supplies. Now we're back. We're gonna tackle the toilet and the tile this evening. Cole rigged up this lovely light over here so we have a bright workspace. Yeah, that's the agenda for this evening. Have you ever ripped up tile?
Yes.
Okay, I never have, so it's a first for one of us.
Some of the tile actually came right up when we took the toilet out. Now we started with just this pry bar and hammer, but then Cole came in with this blade attached to a reciprocating saw, and it was just way more efficient. Not sure if this is necessarily recommended, but it worked for us. We noticed there was a layer of something on top of the concrete that we now know is old self-leveling compound, and it just would not come up.
So this is the concrete, and it's level here with what was underneath the old tub. So we know like this is the concrete slab. But then you come over here, and this, we can't tell, is this concrete too, or is this, in some spots it like flows into the concrete a little more seamlessly, so we're just not sure what to do. I would say let us know in the comments, but this will be done by the time this video comes out. We will have already decided. I think we should rip it up.
We tried our best, but it just would not budge in some spots. Not a huge deal since we were already planning on pouring new self-leveling concrete over this.
What's going on down here?
Look at the over easies.
Do I look official?
Yep.
Like a pro?
Wow.
What's on the docket?
Moving this pipe into the wall.
This pipe, which we believe is, well, not this pipe, this pipe, we believe this is a drain for the dishwasher in the kitchen down here in the basement. So it's not like in use all the time. We've never used it, but it sticks out from the wall quite a bit because there used to be a tub insert here, obviously, which you saw us take out, but now we're putting in a shower insert, which this will be in the way. So we need to figure out how to scoot this back towards the wall a little bit more. Right?
You nailed it.
Cole decided to cut the pipe and then notch out the existing stud, which would allow us to push the pipe back towards the brick wall back there. Then he just used flexible coupling to connect the two pipes and extend it a little bit. And finally, we reinforced that stud that we notched out. Moving on to the rest of the pipe, this would be an issue since the shower insert that we bought needs to sit flush against the studs, and not only are there no studs along this wall, but the pipe is in the way. So we had to figure out a way to basically build out a wall and fit it around the pipe. We did a dry fit of the shower base and decided the best thing to do was just do floor to ceiling 2x4s and once again notch out a spot for that pipe to go through. We secured these just with pocket holes, and you can see me going through and making sure that every single board is plumb.
Looks pretty good.
I'm getting some good work done.
I think it's time to move on to the plumbing.
Scary.
I know, it is scary. But as you like to say, it needs done. Curious out there for the people at home. I had never heard anybody say something needs done before I met Cole. Like, it needs to be done. He says it needs done or it needs cleaned, not needs to be cleaned. He's mad because I'm making fun of him.
This plumbing needs done. This plumbing needs to be done. It's too formal.
Find anything fun down there?
Rocks.
We found the biggest chunk of hair in the drain yesterday when we were taking it out. It was disgusting. We now know that the person who lived here previously had long, dark hair. Pretty gross. Any treasure?
I don't think so.
Gold?
No gold.
We're having a bit of a moment, and we don't think we got the right things. And we think we need to do more research before we start cutting into pipes. So, Cole's playing with his new level.
Everybody said you need to get a laser level. Makes the job a lot easier.
So what are we gonna do now instead of plumbing? You wanna do the lights?
Yeah, let's work on the electrical.
Cole wanted to add some recessed lighting in here, but we needed to rework the ceiling joists and we had to add some new boards to support some of those new electrical elements and make sure that the lights would be in the right spot.
I decided we should make our mark in the home somewhere. Up here, you think?
Yeah.
What should I write? December 2023. Ta! Now they will know we were here.
And who did this awful shower renovation?
They'll be like, oh, okay, who the heck's Rachel and Cole? Also, I don't know if I've said this. I look like Willy Wonka with my hair right now.
A little bit.
We're obviously not experts, not professionals. This is not a how-to video. This is just us doing it as DIYers. So, disclaimer, this is not a how-to video for any of these things. This is just how we're doing things.
While we waited to sort out the plumbing, Cole swapped out the old light switches and outlets in here for something a little more modern, and then ran wiring for some of those recessed lights.
Hey.
We are back. This time we think we got it all figured out.
Don't say that.
I probably just jinxed it. Where are all your little pieces and parts? That's everything? Oh, I see right here. All right, so here's our little contraption that we have fashioned together.
People are gonna talk crap on that.
I mean, that's the exact same thing that was in there before, though.
Not an extendable piece.
Oh, not an extendable piece, right.
People like to talk crap on those. But they work.
People are gonna talk crap?
They're gonna say it's amateur hour.
I mean, it is amateur hour.
We're amateurs.
We are amateurs. We are not professionals.
So the old plumbing in here was for a tub drain, and the old P-trap wasn't deep enough to get the new shower drain level with the shower pan. I know what we put together isn't perfect, but we saw a few other DIYers doing similar projects, and their shower drain configuration looked close to this, so we just decided to roll with it. Once we had the new drain in place, we refilled this hole with the dirt that we took out, and then we just poured some regular old concrete over it.
What do you think?
I hope it works. Look at that. Oh yeah.
Once that was set, Cole moved on to the shower water lines, using the laser level to make sure that everything would be centered with our new drain. We had to add some framing to support the new fixtures, then he built a brace for the mixing valve to make sure that it sits flush with the shower wall. The old tub and shower lines were copper, and we are switching to PEX for our new shower. So Cole cut the PEX pieces for the hot and cold lines and installed a PEX adapter to have the lines go up to the shower head. He used shark bites to transition the old copper lines to PEX. Again, we are not experts and appreciate any helpful feedback from the actual pros out there.
Transitioned the old copper pipe with shark bite connections into PEX, and we have a couple elbows that go up into two more elbows and then enter into the mixing valve. Those are PEX connections. And we had a PEX adapter on top. We just capped off the bottom, and then the mixing valve sends water up to the shower head.
The shower has been way more difficult today than we were expecting. We have dry fitted it like 1,000 times. The big issue is it just doesn't fit quite right. And we don't necessarily think it's our space. We think it's more just like the way that the shower is manufactured. It is a cheap shower. That's why we bought it. So some things are just a little off. We actually ended up having to make some modifications to it, like trimming little parts off, which don't recommend doing that if you don't have to. And we think we are finally in a place where we can get it installed, So we're gonna try to do that this evening, and I feel like once the shower is in, it'll sort of like close a chapter on this entire process. Like phase 1 of the bathroom renovation will be complete. If this is smooth sailing, we'll see.
I cannot tell you guys how many times we dry fitted this shower pan. I was so paranoid that it wouldn't be square or level or wouldn't line up with the drain. We followed the manufacturer's instructions and used a construction adhesive on the feet of the shower pan. Everything seemed okay when we first laid it down. It was level, but it was really squeaky, especially toward the front by the drain, and we realized there was just too much open space up toward the drain where the feet weren't touching the floor. So we ended up taking the shower pan out and we poured some more concrete, then came back and did it all over again a couple days later. We put the adhesive on the feet and also on the floor where we knew the feet touched the floor.
Just reading my Menards directions here. We need to screw the base in to the studs.
Before doing that, we decided to drill pilot holes around the walls, and we actually screwed in the back wall temporarily so we could have a more accurate idea of where everything lined up when we cut the hole for the mixing valve, because that is a one and done thing. You don't get a second chance on that.
A little less than 13 and a quarter, right?
13 and an eighth. Just a...
I told Cole yesterday I want absolutely no part in this portion of the process. It just brings me great stress to deal with measurements and very precise cuts. I told him I won't be mad if he messes it up. I just don't want to be responsible for it. How you feeling?
Nervous as hell.
Before doing the real thing, we made a template with this piece of cardboard just to make sure our measurements were sort of correct.
Yeah! That's pretty good.
That's good.
What do you think? Again, I don't want to be responsible for this.
I think that's about as good as it can be.
We used painter's tape on the shower wall to avoid cracking while cutting it, and then we used this 3.5-inch hole saw attachment.
You got this. Yep.
I'm gonna try to do the reverse thing first.
Okay. Careful with your eyes.
That's it.
Moment of truth. I'm scared to death. Okay. Whoa! That's on the money. It's perfect.
Can we get to the screw holes? Yep, just barely. That's good. That's perfect.
Yeah, so the goal was, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there are 2 little screw holes on either side of this thing here, and you need enough space to be able to get to them. And we have just enough space.
Hell yeah.
Something went right. You have fiberglass in your eyebrows.
I needed a win.
That is such a relief.
Okay, with that done, it is time to take out the walls and screw in the base. We had to use shims around the bottom to get a tight fit and make sure that the screws were sitting flush with the lip. This lighting is terrible, but this shower came with an adhesive strip seal that goes on both sides of the back piece before installation, so that's what I'm doing here. We then used construction adhesive specifically designed for showers and bathrooms. This went on all the studs before installing the walls, and things moved pretty quickly from there. As we got each wall installed, you can see me constantly checking to make sure that the walls are plumb and level before we actually screw them in. You can probably see all the random cross bracing and other random 2x4s that we had to put in. Something that we learned is that this shower is designed to fit a very specific space with very specific stud placement, and most bathrooms probably aren't laid out exactly like that, so you have to improvise a little bit to make sure that it fits your space.
Oh my goodness sakes. What an adventure it's been.
We need to get some bracing in there.
Oh yeah. I'm over the shower. We put some cross bracing in, specifically on this back wall, because there were some spots that we could feel it wasn't like sticking to the stud from the adhesive. So trying to put some pressure on it to hopefully help that. I think we're just gonna leave this and hope for the best.
This was a giant feat to even get this in.
We chose to do like a shower insert instead of tiling because we thought it would be less work than tiling. And now I'm like, is it?
It's a whole different type of work.
I feel like it was just as time consuming for us because we bought a super cheap model, which this was still like $600. More than $600, and then all the materials and everything that you get on top of that. So, and if you get like a nicer one, you're looking at spending at least $1,000.
Yeah.
And it still took us days to do this.
This would have been a lot of tile.
Yeah.
We'll save that for upstairs.
Yeah. There you have it.
There you have it.
After taking a few days off from this lovely bathroom project, we are prepared to tackle the final step of phase 1, which will be pouring self-leveling concrete throughout the rest of the bathroom, the portion that is not covered by the shower that we installed, which, by the way, looks great. So yeah, shower, amazing. Took us way longer than we expected. I'm sure this next part will too, but this is sort of the home stretch to the halfway point. All right, so now the tricky part is figuring out everywhere that we need to spray foam before we start pouring the self-leveling concrete. They say it can fit, the instructions, everything that I've read says that it will find its way into anything the size of a nail hole. So we have some spray foam and just some sealant to try to close everything off before things start getting crazy in here.
Here we go with the spray foam and all of the larger gaps and cracks. We decided not to pour self-leveler in the shower area since it already was sitting level and there were just a couple spots around the drain that we needed to build up, which we did with regular concrete. Now Cole decided just to use caulk around the smaller cracks where spray foam might not be necessary. Once that was done, we scrubbed this old nasty floor to get it as clean as possible before moving on to primer.
Wow. Of course there's dog hair on this thing.
We followed the instructions on the primer bottle and ended up doing 2 coats, and then we let it dry overnight. Okay, so this is our first experience with self-leveling concrete, and overall we found it pretty easy to work with. We followed the instructions to a T, we added the appropriate amount of water, but I almost expected it to be more liquidy. There were just some spots where it wasn't spreading on its own to the low points in the floor. So we just had to kind of work with it more than I was expecting, and it does set pretty fast, so that was a bit of a challenge.
See what we got. Wow.
Starting to dry in a couple spots. That must be where it's really thin.
It's definitely not ready to walk on.
All right, guys, it's been a few days since we laid that self-leveling concrete, and it looks so much better in here compared to what we had before. Still not perfect. We did end up with some spots with some air bubbles and some areas where the concrete just didn't feather out the way it should have, so it's not like 100% flat. Not sure if we're just gonna leave it like this or if we're gonna try to do like a thin layer. We don't really need to make that decision now because it's gonna be a while before we get tile down in here. If you have any experience with self-leveling concrete, please let us know what you think we should do to fix some of those imperfections. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know it has been such a journey and this is only part 1 of the process. So please give this video a like if you enjoyed it. Drop a comment down below. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Part 2 is gonna be just as action-packed. Thanks so much for watching this video, and we will see you in the next one.